I'm Doug Massi, and today we're going to talk about your direct upline, the agency that you're contracted with, and whether they're actually ripping you off or not. I'm also going to get into legitimate insurance agencies or legitimate IMOs are starting new agents at commission-wise, and what kind of value that you should be getting based on that commission structure that they have, along with their training and leads program. And yes, this is the perfect time to like this video and subscribe if you're new, guys. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense sales training videos like all the time. And if you stick around until the end of this video, I'm gonna show you how to get the new agent telesales kit, which has like 6 different documents that you're absolutely gonna wanna use if you decide to sell final expense remotely over the phone. Now, just to be clear, I do not believe that there is like one agency that's just like a great fit for everybody. With insurance agencies, there's no one size fits all. Some agencies specialize in like one niche, while others claim to specialize in like several markets at the same time. Now, is it possible to specialize in multiple, different markets at the same time if you're an IMO? Well, I guess anything is possible, but it would be extremely unlikely. I also believe that if you're getting hands-on training, like especially, field training, you're able to do like ride-alongs with like multiple field agents, then it kind of does make sense to give up some commission. The question is, how much commission should you be giving up? And at what point are you just getting ripped off? This is where the opinion part of the video comes in. So just to be clear, guys, the following information is just my opinion, and I'm in no way trying to defame or disparage any specific insurance agencies or companies that I may name. There are some companies that will start their new agents with the first year commissions at or like around 50%. In my opinion, this only makes sense if the agent is working free leads and not having to invest financially in like any way other than, maybe getting the non-residence licenses or the state license. Honestly, guys, I don't care what kind of training that you're getting and what kind of show that's maybe being put on for you by the IMO. If your life insurance commissions are like around 50% and you're being, either asked to buy leads or told to go sell your friends and family, in my opinion, you are getting ripped off to the max. So let's just say that your upline is telling you that you need to be spending a lot of money on leads, maybe $500 to, potentially a couple $1,000s each week, on your leads. The first question is, are those leads generated exclusively for you, or are they being resold over and over to like multiple agents? For me, this is a very important question because the last thing that I want is to be stuck working leads that are like recycled and sold over and over again. To me, that's like a big no-no, no matter how high or how low your first year commission levels are. Let's assume that you're getting fresh exclusive leads, whether you are a face-to-face agent or maybe selling insurance products remotely or, over the phone. If you're paying for your leads, the first year commissions for the main products that you're selling should be no less than 100%. And trust me on this one, guys, it is super important that you don't just like sign up with an agency that tells you, well, here's your commission levels, and you end up signing up without actually seeing them in black and white. That's a big no-no too. There are some insurance marketing agencies that are gonna tell you, hey, we're gonna start you at our 100% level, and then later what's gonna happen, you're gonna find out that like a majority of the carriers and first year commissions are actually a lot lower than 100%. And guys, here is another question that to me is extremely important. Is the state or the areas that you're marketing to even viable for the type of sale that you're doing? For example, if you're selling final expense insurance in, Miami, Florida, you pretty much have like a 0% chance of being successful there. South Florida is just not a viable area for selling final expense insurance because of a bunch of reasons, really. Agent saturation, over mailing, over marketing, and if you're a face-to-face agent, well, between like the gated communities and the condominiums, if they don't answer the phone, those folks that live there don't answer the phone, you're not even going to be able to door knock those leads. If an insurance agent contacts me and wants to join my agency to sell final expense in like California or even South Florida, and there's other places too, I'm using them as an example, I will not take that agent on. That's the bottom line. I know that they don't really have a good chance at being successful, so why should I convince them to spend money and spend their time only to be put in a position where they're probably going to fail? Oh, and most insurance agencies will take pretty much any agent that comes along, and to me, this is really messed up. I mean, think about it. The agent goes through all the contracting to sell in an area that no one else has had any success in for maybe like years, and then they spend like all their time and energy doing the training, you know, they're spending all the money on leads, and only to find out that they can't even get in front of these people. Some other things to think about. One, you don't want to do telesales with an agency that specializes in face-to-face sales. And two, you don't want to do face-to-face sales with an agency that specializes in telesales. And another thing, you don't want to work with a multi-level marketing insurance agency unless, and this is important, you intend on recruiting and doing like multi-level marketing. Three, if you're going to work as a captive agent, just make sure that they're willing to release your contracts to the next agency if things don't work out, and that they're willing to do this without you signing some type of non-compete or non-disclosure. And FYI guys, there are a lot, beware, a lot of insurance agencies where the managers are actually to recruit you, they'll tell you how you're not captive, but then when you ask them to sign the release agreement, you know, because things don't work out or what have you, they won't sign the release, and therefore they are literally holding you captive. One last thing, and this is really important. Does the agency that you're working with have a platform or, you know, maybe a system where like any competent and hard-working person can actually be successful? Look, I'm telling you, most insurance agencies see failure from like a majority of their insurance agents, and literally like 10 to maybe 20% of their agents write like 80 to 90% of the insurance. And this is the part of the video where I take a minute to brag on our telesales platform. At United Final Expense Services, you know, my insurance agency, we start all of our final expense telesales, you know, the remote agents, with the first year commissions between like 100 and 110%. We use a calendar appointment system where we customize the agent's ads and their landing pages so that the prospects see the agent's photo and information and actually set an appointment with, you know, usually on their smartphone, to speak with that specific agent about getting a quote for affordable burial insurance. We give our agents one-on-one training, and all we ask is that they work our system full-time Monday through Friday, have the capacity to like actually become a true sales professional, and, you know, have a strong work ethic to match. And here's the thing guys, because this is what we require of our agents, a majority of our agents are actually having success with our system, instead of the way it is with most insurance agencies, where a majority of the agents actually quit or fail within the first month or two. Guys, for those of you who would like access to free final expense telesales training, just click on the link above, and this thing will take you to our 3-part series. And what it is, it's a telesales training series that literally covers everything you need to be successful at final expense remote sales. For a copy of the telesales new agent file that I mentioned earlier in the video, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. And if you'd like information on selling final expense with us, just shoot me an email at that same address. Remember guys, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now get out there, or, you know, pick up that phone and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.